The sky in the east starts to glow, a rooster crows, and another day of life on the farm has begun. Even as the whole world industrializes, farms are still a vital part of life on Earth. And today I got to visit one right here in Central Oregon, where a goat tried to give me a brand new hole in my jeans. I'm Brian Johnson, and this is Nobody You Know. Hello and welcome to Nobody You Know, and this week's episode where I am on a hobby farm with Danielle Benz. Welcome to Nobody You Know.
Hello.
That's where you usually say thank you or something like that, you know.
Thanks for being here.
She says she's new to interviewing. We'll see how this goes, but she also has some wildlife with her right now. But the first question on my mind is what exactly is involved in the term hobby farm? And maybe this is more easy than I know. Maybe this is a really simple answer, but I've heard of a farm. What's the difference between a farm and a hobby farm?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably a farm probably brings in more income than we make on ours. Hobby farm, we have a little bit of everything, and we just kind of have fun with it and try to do the best we can.
So that you don't raise cows or anything for income specifically?
Well, we do. We have 4 mama cows, and so every year we have babies, and we raise them up. They grow about 20 months, and then we butcher. So we sell steers. We sell the meat. We sell baby goats. We sell puppies, and we sell eggs and milk. So we bring in some income, but not on the scale of like what maybe some of our friends do who have 20 or hundreds of head of cattle. Our little farm is much smaller.
So it's just kind of, would it be in reference then to the size of the farm?
Probably, yeah. We have 28 acres, so I would say, a small farm or hobby farm is what ours would be determined.
Then the next question would be, how did you get started? What got you into this lifestyle?
I was born on kind of like a little hobby farm. Our parents kind of did the same thing. They let us do any kind of animals we wanted to for 4-H or FFA, and I always loved it. And when I got married, I knew that someday I wanted to raise this little one on a farm so that she could learn the responsibility and just the lifestyle. I think it's a really great way to raise kids and for them to learn about the animals and just learn and grow that way.
And are you learning anything?
Nothing, just ballet.
She may have misunderstood the question, but that's okay.
How to help on the farm?
Yeah.
Yes, you know how to get eggs and help with the goats. She trains goats. She's quite good at training goats, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you talked about the farm lifestyle. Talk about a day on a hobby farm.
Get up around 7, come out, and I feed cows, goats, chickens, clean some pens, make sure everybody has water. And then, well, right now with puppies, you got to clean the puppies, feed the puppies. And then kind of,
Clean them pen.
there's a lot of weeding. There's irrigation. Being here in Central Oregon, you got to irrigate everything. Anything you want to grow has to have water on it. So there's a lot of rotating sprinklers, running the tractor out, doing stuff, fixing sprinklers, all that kind of stuff. And then you repeat in the evening, feed everybody again, clean everything again, make sure everybody has water and that kind of stuff. That's kind of the day on the farm. Play with some animals.
And also play with goats.
That's the important part, right? Compared then to what I've heard about, just life on a farm where that's what somebody does all day, every day. Is that what you do?
It's kind of what I do. Yes,
Okay.
I pretty much farm is mostly what I do. Yes, I substitute teach sometimes, but I'm pretty much home on the farm with this one. So, yeah, I guess maybe I'm a full-time farmer, more than just a hobby farmer. Our farm is a little bit bigger than we had expected to buy, but it was kind of what was available and what we fell in love with, so it's what we did.
So this was established as a farm when you bought it?
Yes.
Okay. Still on the subject of farm life, and you talked about the farm culture and bringing them up in it. What, I can kind of answer it myself because you hear about the young men brought up on a farm just know so much more about hard work and things like that. What kinds of character traits does life on a farm kind of force you to develop?
I think work ethic is the biggest thing. Like, there's no slacking off on the farm. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter. I mean, I had the flu last week, and, I was shaking as I was trying to feed hay to everybody, but, there's no choice. You have to do it. So it teaches you that, you can push through anything, that you're tough. Unfortunately, it also teaches you loss. We have had a lot of loss on the farm, so you learn to deal with emotions and things like that. And just responsibility. I mean, your kids are going to learn that, you can't just go off and do whatever when animals have to be fed. They've got to be fed. So, if you don't get the eggs, then the eggs are going to, get gross. And, it's just, the cows have to eat or else you don't get to eat them. It's just kind of one of those things. So, it teaches you a lot of things, makes you strong. When we do hay, you feel like you're just superwoman afterwards and dead, but, at the same time. But, so, I don't know, it teaches you a lot. There's a lot of character development.
I remember there was something oddly fun, and I don't know if I should admit this on video or my parents might make me do it again, to the day that we were buying some hay, and it was my job to run alongside the flatbed and just put each new bale up. And once you got into a rhythm, it was kind of cool. And I think I was 18 or something, but I suddenly felt manly.
I'm back in about a month.
Well, that's what I said. There's a danger to admitting that on camera. How do you take a vacation?
You don't take a lot of vacations. You get a farm center. Right now, actually, I'm lucky enough to have my in-laws living with us. So Papa's doing a lot of the irrigation stuff for me so that I can not have to do that. And so we could probably leave them in charge of most of the things. Not with puppies right now. There's no leaving with puppies. But yeah, you get a farm sitter to come that you teach them how to do all the chores and stuff.
And does this area have enough of what you do that farm sitters are easy to find?
I don't know if they're easy to find, but I know one good one. Okay. So, or maybe two. But yes, one person that I definitely trust for sure.
And what kinds of things do you do on the farm?
Play with goats and play with cows.
Okay.
And pick up chickens.
You just pick them up or pick up their eggs?
Pick up their eggs and pick up them.
Do they ever try to peck you?
No.
No, they're pretty well-behaved chickens, huh?
Yes, because I changed them.
You sound like you are ready to take over when your mom is ready to hand it off to you.
You gonna be a good farmer?
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Well, shall we take a little tour of what you've got here?
Absolutely.
All right.
Charlotte!
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 You didn't feed me last time I was over here. Charlotte!
Charlotte!
So this is my herd. We run Aberdeens. You get you can run more cows on smaller acreage with Aberdeens. They're about 3/4 size of the Angus. And you also get a higher cutout on the Aberdeen, about 75% on a cutout for meat versus a 65% cutout on like an Angus. So I really like them.
Hi! Here.
So that's the herd. So this is our hen house. Obviously they go in there at night, and that keeps them safe from the fox that we have that lives here on the property.
Oh, you have an actual fox.
We have a fox, and we leave him because he eats a lot of rodents, and we just try to keep him away from the chickens, so get him penned up at night. And then the chickens lay their eggs in here, and then we gather them in the evening.
to the camera. This one isn't. Hello.
Well, goats are my favorite thing on the farm. They are so funny, and they're up right away, and by 2 days they're jumping everywhere and bouncing off of everything and loving on people, and they're just super fun. So we have
you can put them in the backyard.
You can put them in the backyard and let them eat the grass, huh? Yeah, so we've got kind of a little bit of a mixed herd. Mostly meat goats.
Shorter.
And then one milk goat right here. So, they're a lot of fun.
This one is determined to give me that ripped jeans look. You're going in hard. You are, wow. You really want that denim. Okay, all right, you're going to start making holes. All right.
I bought the most wonderful golden doodle 2 years ago, and I just always wanted puppies. My sister raises labs, and she's my vet, and so I thought we would do a litter, and we bred to a Bernedoodle, so these are considered golden mountain doodles. And they are just the sweetest, most precious babies. Aren't they, Bug? See?
Yeah.
Rocky. We got some fun colors.
Rocky the biggest.
Rocky's the biggest. We got 9 puppies.
How about you? Oof. Well, that brings us to the end of our tour of Danielle Benz's hobby farm. The grown-up dogs are sad that we're leaving, apparently. But thank you, Danielle, for taking the time to show us around.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
I'm sitting here with Nemo as he's falling asleep in my lap. Yeah, you sleepy dog. Look at you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you just rest. Well, I tell everyone that if you enjoyed today's program, make sure you click the like button. If you enjoy the channel, click subscribe and make sure you share it with your friends as well. Click the bell that gives you notification when I upload a new episode, which, if everything goes according to plan, is always Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to be on today's program, like Mommy does here, make sure you send me an email at 10thandfur@outlook.com. I don't have the budget to go a lot of places. I'm waiting for that big corporate sponsor to fly me all over America. So until then, you kind of got to be in Central Oregon. Oh, and Nemo wants Mom. Okay, there we go. All right. This is probably the craziest ending I've ever done, but that's all right. Yeah. If you don't think you have anything to talk about, don't worry about it. Send me an email. We'll get you on the program. It is my belief that everyone is interesting, and you don't have to be famous to be fascinating. I'm Brian Johnson. This is Nobody You Know. This is Nobody You Know. Only now, you do.